Ever since I've seen this video 15 years ago, I've been fascinated by Cziffra's technical ability and many other things surrounding his fantastic pianism. I mean, his performances of Liszt's music was, and probably still is, praised as being one of the best ever. I mean, what do you expect? Cziffra's piano teacher Istvan Toman was Liszt's favorite student, so there is that direct line of Liszt's performing tradition being passed from one to another. And it's only one generation away, so there probably is very little room for error. But this video is not about who studied with whom, it's rather about Cziffra's crazy ability to play octaves, and I wonder whether Liszt's tradition of piano playing and his piano school had anything to do with it, or is it all Cziffra himself? In today's video, I'm going to be looking at Cziffra's playing some of the extensive octave passages in his performance of the 6th Hungarian Rhapsody by Franz Liszt. Okay, so far nothing crazy to see here. It's probably more just like a warm-up for him, really. Playing those two bar phrases at one. Still amazing playing though. Okay, let's just fast forward to where he's starting to play, continuously those octaves. Right. Okay, so immediately I can see something very interesting. He's playing repeated octaves by constantly changing the top fingers 5 to 4. Wow, this is so smart. It's crazy. Okay, so let's just have a look at this in slow motion. Yep, he's doing it. I mean, if you were to do that sort of stuff, you would probably need to have a decent hand size, since not everyone can do octaves with their 4th finger. I can see how this sort of trick might help you to keep the hands relaxed as much as possible, and you gotta bear in mind that playing octaves you will never be completely relaxed. Having said that, I think that the constant change of the top finger, 5 to 4 and the repeated octaves can greatly improve the control of the tension in the hand. You can sustain that tension easier. I can see how this sort of trick would really work well in Liszt's transcription of Schubert's Erlkönig from Winterreise. Okay, so there are a few other things that Cziffra is definitely doing here, and I think it's worth exploring. Okay, so if you look closely, you'll notice that pretty much every time he's playing a passage of repeated octaves, it appears that he's slightly lifting his hand up and then brings it back down. Let's have a look at this in slow motion, then I'll see. Yep, he's doing it. Yeah, just look at it. I mean, follow the arrow. I'll edit the arrow in for you to see when he's doing it. Yeah, he's definitely doing that motion up and down, whenever he does the repeated octaves. So I've compared the sheet music with this approach of playing the octaves, and I have noticed that this motion is synced with the things happening in the music, I mean in the actual sheet music. So as the hand goes down, that particular note has an accent, helping him to give an impulse on that particular note. Now it's not always very obvious or very clearly visible, but I think it's a conscious decision he's doing. So let's have a look at it in slow motion again with the sheet music. Yeah, it just happens. The accent is very slight and the motion of the hand is very slight as well, but it happens on the accentuated note, definitely. Now, if we look further into the music, the repeated octaves have no longer got that melodic note being accentuated, but Cziffra is still doing that motion up and down. Let's just have a look at that in slow motion with sheet music. Yep, he's still doing that. That motion is happening on every repeated octave, but not on the accentuated note. Now I have a feeling that this sort of wrist motion going up and down while he's playing repeated octaves is a conscious decision, and I think it helps him to control many different aspects of piano playing, like tempo, rhythm, phrasing, and most importantly, the control of tension in the wrist and arm. I think he genuinely uses that motion to keep the hand as relaxed as possible where possible. Now, what do you think? What's the reason behind that motion up and down? Try to practice it yourself and let me know down in the comment section below what's the final outcome. For those interested in exploring more techniques, check out my video playlist where I share stuff about various different techniques, linked up here. And if you haven't seen my video where I share about how to play like Martha Argerich, specifically talking about repeated notes in the Scarlatti Sonata K141, well, make sure to go and check that out. And as for now, that's it for today, and I shall see you in the next video.